Okay, so I guess this thing is on. It is January 21st, 2010. I'm Liz. Uh, is my first, I guess, if you want to call it a vlog for writing research and technology. I don't even know what to say to this thing because this is really awkward. I didn't realize how weird this was going to be, especially since I have no idea. There's no human face, so it's kind of hard to have a conversation with, but I'll try my very, very best. After watching those videos, I really thought they were hilarious, but they were really interesting. I got definitely a different perspective on things when watching the. Hold on, I have it up on screen. When watching the anthropological introduction to YouTube, I didn't realize how liberating and how talking to a little dot, this camera is just like a little dot, how really it could be so therapeutic, it could be uplifting, and how it's definitely changing our culture and bringing us all together. And with that being said, it makes me wonder, if we're now communicating voice to voice, or it's not even voice to voice, it's just voice to camera, and to, I guess, the invisible audience, all of you out there, it makes me wonder what's going to happen to writing. Before, before you had these inventions, writing, style, audience is so important, and it's there are so many rooms for error. You could totally read something and completely misinterpret it. And now that we have these video cameras, it's almost like the way that we speak might take more precedence over the way that we write. I know for a fact, I can speak, I guess, but my writing, I believe, is to be a lot more eloquent than me just casually talking. Also, I thought it was really, really, really interesting was the Larry Lessig on laws that show creativity. At first, I thought, oh, this is going to be a really boring lecture, but then after watching the video, I really understood what they were what he was saying, and how it the law and common sense with especially with creativity, it really hasn't caught up. And I never really thought of that people would actually try to give, when he was giving the example with the Supreme Court and how farmers were trying to sue airplane companies for, quote, trespassing. I never really thought of it as, well, common sense. You can't, the sky's the limit. There's different rules and laws of the sky because it's its own entity. And now that we have all this technology out there, and now it's ready for the masses, that totally changes the quality and the extent that we view and uphold copywriting. I think it's awesome that we can now, at least the masses, can take clips from one video and put it onto another. I mean, that in itself is a whole new visual literacy. And it's just as effective as reading a book or writing a paper. And that sometimes it might even be more effective by using different means, because it kind of gives the viewer a chance to kind of collect all this information and try to puzzle, or not even puzzle, but piece it together and see exactly how the creator is doing something, or what messages, or why they would do it in such a way. It kind of presents more of a challenge and whatnot. I think this Creative Commons licensing thing is pretty cool, except for the fact that it kind of makes me wonder to what extent people are going to actually are going to uphold to it. I mean, I could say I want this video right now to be used for I don't know, something that shows me making mistakes or something, or biggest goofs, or I don't even know, whatever. But do I know for sure that it will be used for what I want it to be used for? People might, will change it and whatnot. And yeah, I understand the idea of Creative Commons. It's gonna, it lets you decide, well, it can be used for this purpose and this purpose and that purpose. But how would I be sure? Does it recall for the person who's using your material to contact you and to let you approve it. I know that when, especially in journalism, if you're using a quote or you're having an interview or writing an article, you have to check your quotes and facts, and in many cases, you end up letting the person who you're interviewing read the article and make sure that they approve it. Otherwise, you could face charges of slander, I believe. So it's just, I don't know, it's like, it brings a lot of things into question, and it definitely is going to reflect on the new generation and their ability to write. I want to be a not writing arts, I am a writing arts major, but I want to be an elementary ed teacher, or most specifically like upper elementary ed and middle school. And part of the struggle with today is they say that this generation, or this new generation, I guess, I don't know if you would call us a different generation, the kids are in elementary school right now, but they're struggling writers. They don't really want to dig into, even the writing's really messy. They don't want to do it. They just want to have use the technologies and do whatever they can quick, easy, and fast, when in fact writing is a really complicated and long process. And it makes me wonder if what's going to happen if we're using technologies now and we're allowing students to do alternate projects and write an essay but in the form of digital media. What does that say of the future and quality of writing? Text messaging, that lingo in itself is totally changing how writing appears. Now you have things appearing more phonetically. I know I always, when I'm texting, I want to do it fast and quick. I use abbreviations, my own little language that kind of bothers people, but whatever, it's me. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of things that it brings into question. And more specifically, as a future teacher, I just wonder how this new age of technology is going to really impact the curriculum and the stuff that I might be teaching in the future. But, all right, I hope this worked. I don't know. Okay, peace. Bye.